look, you're owed some benefits as a veteran, and we're going to help you get them. And all you got to do is sign this piece of paper here, and we'll go get them for you. And once you get your veterans benefits, you'll be all set up. And then the veteran signs the piece of paper. And when the veterans benefits roll in, what they find out is they don't get all those payments, that the contractor gets them, or it gets the large substance of them. And it so upsets the veteran services officers that are helping our veterans get those benefits that they came to see me. And it's not a problem that's just taking place in Idaho. It's taking place in lots of other states, I found out. So much so that Congress has taken up this issue. But as we know, Congress acts kind of slowly. And so state by state, this has presented itself in state houses across the country. And in other state houses, we've seen this issue come up in terms of statute. And we've been able to research that, and we've found that other legislatures have addressed this the way that we're asking you to address it today. And with that, Mr. Chairman, with your permission, I'll ask that Kelsey Zach be able to present what we have in this bill today.
Absolutely. Kelsey, welcome to committee. Just introduce yourself for the record.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Senator Anton. My name is Kelsey Zach, and I'm happy to be presenting Senate Bill 1080. This legislation will prevent claim sharks from exploiting Idaho military veterans who are attempting to file a claim for their veterans' benefits. Recently in Idaho, there are claim sharks who are looking to make an easy buck. They are preying on veterans by promising them certain benefits without having to go through the proper channels. The current law on this is federal law, specifically 38 CFR 14.629, which says that no individual may assist claimants in the preparation, presentation, and prosecution of claims for VA benefits as an agent or attorney unless they have been accredited by the VA. This CFR also outlines the process for getting accredited by the VA. The VA's Office of General Counsel accredits 3 types of entities, which are representatives from the VSO, attorneys, and claim agents. To be accredited, VSO reps must be recommended by the Office of General Counsel by a VA-recognized VSO. An accredited attorney must be a member in good standing of at least one state bar, and a claims agent must pass tests about VA laws and procedures. We need this to be illegal at the state level to ensure that these fraudulent practices are outlawed. In 2023, fraud cost veterans, service members, and their families close to $500 million. Since January, at least 17 states have introduced bills to ban or restrict private claim consultants from profiting off of veterans. Assistance with claims should be limited to only accredited entities because unaccredited actors do not have access to the VA claims system, so they require the veteran to share system logins, passwords, or even bank account information so fees can be immediately withdrawn before the veteran even learns that the claim money has been deposited. Let us join the states who have already passed bills to protect our veterans' hard-earned benefits. Thank you for your time, and I ask that this bill be sent to the Senate floor with due pass recommendation.
Thank you. Are there questions for either Senator Anton or Ms. Zach? Senator Den Hartog.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Ms. Zach, for being here to present. Could you talk a little bit about if veterans are trying to figure out what benefits they have potentially available to them, how they go about that, and what resources they have access to outside of maybe these private entities?
Ms. Zach.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Senator Den Hartog. That is a great question. There's the VA and then the VSO offices, and then there's the Idaho Division of Veterans Services, and then the Veterans of Foreign War, the American Legion, and then there are some nonprofit organizations locally here in Idaho.
Senator Ruckte.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ms. Zach, I just want to make sure I understand that, and you did a good job of explaining it, but I want to confirm my understanding. If a veteran has a need for legal services, I think what you're saying is there are legal services available to them, certified attorneys who have gone through the proper training, understand how to navigate the VA system, et cetera. Is that accurate?
Ms. Sack?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Senator Ruckty. Yes, that's correct. A veteran is allowed to have an attorney on their initial benefits claim. That attorney and maybe a claims agent, if they wanted a claims agent, could not get paid for assisting with that initial claim. But once a decision has been made on that claim, then that's when they could get paid. So there are resources available to them, and they're able to be represented by attorneys on that initial claim.
Thank you. I don't see any other questions, although Senator Adams is threatening. No? Okay, we're going to go to some testimony, and then we'll give you a chance to close. Okay, thank you. Let's try a virtual off the bat. Bill Taylor.
Good morning. Good morning. My name is Bill Taylor.
We can't see you. We can hear you.
Okay, I have my video on now.
Anyway, they're not getting video, but you're welcome to go ahead. Just introduce yourself for the record.
So, good morning, Chairman. My name is William Taylor. I am a 23-year Army veteran. I'm also the founder and CEO of Veterans Guardian VA Claims Consulting, one of these private organizations that's been referenced here this morning. I have over 200 employees. Everyone that works for me is a veteran, spouse of veteran, or spouse of active duty, and we're proud of the ethical and effective service that we provide our veterans every day. While we recognize that there are some bad actors in this space and that there are some bad practices, predatory practices that are happening, we believe that the majority of the companies in this space are operating in an ethical and effective manner. We believe that a better solution to this problem, rather than just getting rid of the entire unaccredited space, is to let's identify the predatory practices we don't like and legislate against them. We can maintain veterans' freedom to choose how they want to pursue their claim while still preserving their freedom of choice to choose our services. I would like to note that we are operating 100% in compliance with federal law. We do not become the veteran's agent, and therefore we are not in violation of federal law. I also would like to note that in the 17 other states that were referenced, there is also additional legislation that's being proposed that would put consumer protections in place to protect veterans. And we believe that that's the direction most of the other states are headed and actually is a better solution to this problem. I also want to note that at the federal level, we are working with the House Veteran Affairs Committee as we speak on legislation that will expand accreditation to allow companies like ours to become accredited and operate within the system. So we are reaching out. We are trying to continue to work with both the federal level and the states, and we hope we can do the same in Idaho to maintain veterans' freedom of choice and access to assistance. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Taylor, are there questions? Senator Ruckty.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Taylor, so under your business model, how do you get compensated, and is it under federal law?
Mr. Taylor.
So we are operating as an unaccredited entity, and federal law does not apply to us because we do not become the veteran's agent. One of the things that we have recommended in other states as a consumer protection is our pricing model, which requires any fee to be contingent on a successful outcome. It does not allow any upfront or non-refundable fees, and does not allow companies to have access to clients' bank accounts. Any payments have to be voluntary from the veteran. If we do get a veteran increase, our fee is 5 times the monthly increase. That's a one-time fee. We do not touch back pay. And once the veteran is finished making that payment, they enjoy the benefit for the rest of their life.
Follow up?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Ms. Taylor, I think you just mentioned it, but could you clarify one more time, how do you get compensated for the efforts you make on behalf of a veteran who's successful, for whom your efforts are successful?
Mr. Taylor.
The veteran pays us directly in whatever manner they choose. They can choose to pay by credit card. They can choose to pay by check, by cash, whatever works best for them. But I want to stress, it is a voluntary payment from the veteran. We do not get access to bank accounts or credit card information ahead of time to pull those payments without the veterans taking an action to make that payment.
Mr. Chairman, just another follow-up.
Follow-up, Senator.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Taylor, I guess what I'm asking is, how is your fee set up, and how does it compare to what is allowed under federal law?
Thank you.
Mr. Taylor.
It is set up in a direct contract between us and our clients. We ensure that they're aware of what the fee structure is, and that's set up in our contract. When we look at the fee structure that's allowed for lawyers to do appeal work, any appeal that takes 15 months or more will be more expensive than my services. And when you look at the average, appeals are taking 2.5 to 3 years. When we compare our fees to what's allowed under current law for the lawyers, in almost every case, I'm going to be less expensive than the lawyer's fees.
Mr. Chairman, I'm sorry, I just have another follow-up.
Senator Ruckey.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Taylor, let me be really specific. What is your fee structure?
My fee structure is if a veteran gets an increase, let's say they come to me at 50% making $1,000 a month. We get them to 80%. They're now making $1,500. My fee is 5 times that $500 difference. So in this case, my fee would be $2,500. That is a one-time fee. And so it's a sliding scale depending on how big of an increase and how much assistance we provided the veteran.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I don't see any other questions. Let's go with Daniel Murphy. And while we're welcoming him up, I failed to recognize, because I just seen her, but Madam Treasurer, thank you for being in committee this morning. Come on up, Mr. Murphy. Welcome to committee. Just introduce yourself for the record.
Thank you. Good morning, and thank you, Mr. Chairman and committee. My name is Daniel Murphy, and today I am representing the disabled American veterans and the Department of Idaho. I am the state DAV adjutant. Idaho DAV members, as well as other fine service organizations such as the VFW and the American Legion, help veterans all over Idaho. Senate Bill 1080 is a great piece of legislation that will, as a statement of purpose cites, quote, will prevent claim sharks from exploiting Idaho military veterans who are attempting to file a claim for their veteran benefits, unquote. Rarely does a day go by where, maybe on Facebook, for instance, ambulance chasing lawyer groups are advertising their business with promises to veterans and claim that they'll help veterans file their claims for a fee, which can be in the thousands of dollars. Many times such claims are bogus because it's up to the VA who decides on a veteran's compensation rating. We at the DAV voluntarily help veterans file compensation claims, install handicap ramps, provide hospital beds, showers, chairs, electric scooters, and so much more. We can also provide monetary assistance that may help veterans rent an apartment. Just last week, I took a DAV service officers training course, which gave me more tools to better help veterans file their claims. And I am proud that I have helped many veterans file their claims and directed them through the process. In closing, I'll just say this: if anyone knows of any Idaho veteran who may need help filing a claim or equipment that may better their lives, they can contact me at any time. Many in this building know how to get a hold of me. And I appreciate your time. Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Regarding the fellow who was on the audio, there are situations where, Bill, when you get approved for compensation, you might have a year of back pay, which can be $6,000, $7,000, $10,000, and some of these people take a big chunk of that away from the veterans, and that's what a guy like me don't like to see. I want veterans to get 100% of all the compensation that they've been granted because they've been harmed by serving our country. And I appreciate all you guys.
Thank you. It looks like Senator Adams has a question.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Murphy, welcome to committee. Question for you. Do you know how many times on average a veteran will file for a claim before it's approved?
Mr. Murphy?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and Senator Adams. I don't have the statistics, but I'll tell you what. If I know that a veteran got denied, I will walk them through the appeals process, either with a supplemental claim, which is what they recommend over any other claims. And a lot of times veterans, they will do the claims on their own. And that's where I'll come in if they've come to me. I get calls and emails all the time because I'm the state adjutant. And I don't have the data regarding your question.
Okay. Mr. Chairman, follow up.
Senator Adams?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Additional question for you. Do you know what the average time is between when someone files for a claim and whether it's approved or rejected? Do you know what the average time is?
Mr. Murphy?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and Senator Adams. I would say the average time can be, well, it depends on how thorough the claim is, number one, okay? And number two, I've known claims to get approved anywhere from 4 to 9 months of the initial claim. And any appeal might take anywhere from about 8 months, could be to a year or two, depending on the situation. And but I filed a claim myself, and it took under 5 months. So there are varying issues regarding how long a claim would be, processed.
Thank you.
They have to have a service
Don't
connected
see any other
disability.
questions. Thank you for being in committee and thank you for your service.
Thank you, sir.
Let's try Lisa Kalkas.
Service connected disability is like hearing loss. I have 10%, $173 a month.
Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Lisa Kalkas. I'm an Army veteran and the Chief Marketing Officer and VP of Public Affairs for Veteran Benefits Guide. VBG is a private company that assists veterans in navigating the VA disability claims process. I would like to thank the chairman and other members of the Senate State Affairs Committee for providing me this opportunity to share VBG's perspective. I'm testifying today in opposition to Senate Bill 1080 as currently written. While well-intended, Senate Bill 180 would severely and unfairly limit choices veterans have in seeking assistance with their VA disability claims. Instead of only targeting bad actors, it would make it illegal for veterans to receive assistance from any private service that collects a fee, including honorable companies like VBG. We believe that veterans need more help in getting the benefits they earned, not a prohibition on their options. To be clear, VBG fully supports legislation that would establish strict guardrails to protect veterans, including a requirement to inform them that a fee service is available to them prior to services being rendered, signed disclosure requirements, fee caps, privacy protection, and other measures to block out bad actors. We would be eager to work with the committee on legislation that establishes such guardrails while allowing veterans to continue using private services. I also want to emphasize that VBG operates in compliance with federal law. We provide specially trained case managers to guide veterans through the claims process, but we do not act as the veteran's agent, representative, or provide them with legal services, and we do not present before the VA. I urge the committee to reject Senate Bill 1080 as currently written and protect the right of Idaho veterans to get the help they need. Thank you.
Thank you for your testimony. Senator Ruckty has a question.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ms. Kalkas, can you describe for us how your fee structure is set up with the veteran?
Ms. Kalkas?
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you, Senator. The fee structure is similar to Vet's Guardian. It's 5 times the difference of the benefit that we help the veteran receive.
Senator Ruckty, follow up?
No, thank
Good.
you, Mr.
I don't see any other questions. Thank you for being with us this morning.
Thank you, Chairman.
Appreciate it. I'll try to go to Ashley Berry virtually.
Thank you.
Good morning. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Introduce yourself for the record and who you represent. The time's yours.
Yes, my name is Ashley Berry, the National Association for Veteran Rights I'm representing. We're a national trade association dedicated to ensuring service-disabled veterans have access to the highest quality claims assistance. And this really comes down to choice. If passed, this bill will not only limit options for our nation's heroes, but will also force many into an already overburdened system. And this is why I have seen firsthand the consequences of a broken system. As a former senior executive at the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs and as an investigative journalist on TV, I was at the forefront of exposing the Phoenix VA wait time scandal. You may all remember that scandal. It revealed the systemic neglect and fatal delays plaguing the VA system. That exposure led to national coverage, resignations, and of course a call to reform. But yet a decade later, the same injustices persist. Veterans are still waiting. They're waiting for the benefits they earned. They're waiting for a system that is supposed to serve them, waiting for hope. What hasn't been addressed today is the wait times. The numbers in Idaho tell a grim story. There are only 40 VSO representatives to assist more than 125,000 veterans. That equates to each representative being responsible for handling the affairs of more than 3,100 veterans. Think about that. This bill, in my opinion, would further restrict their access to professional claims assistance, forcing them into a government bottleneck where wait times stretch on for months, even years. Now, we did hear that it was anywhere from, 5 months to 2 years. But I can tell you that the process is absolutely expedited. What we've seen in our association with both Veteran Benefits Guide as well as Veterans Guardian. We believe that veterans deserve options. They deserve choice. They deserve a system that works for them, not against them. We don't represent bad actors in this industry. In fact, we've worked diligently to address them. As Bill said, there is a bill we are pushing with strict consumer protections. I will close with this. Idaho Senate Bill 1060 is not just bad policy, it truly is dangerous, and I urge you to reject it, and I thank you for your time today.
And I think it's Senate Bill 1080, but regardless, Senator Taves has a question.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ms. Berry, thank you for your testimony. You were talking a lot about wait times. I was wondering, is there any data to tell us how much more quickly veterans who use these services get their claims processed than those that do not? Is there a significant difference?
Ms. Berry?
Yes, thank you. We can absolutely provide you with that data. I would ask that Veteran Benefits Guide as well as Veterans Guardian. I can tell you firsthand that I have seen this, but we don't have the specific numbers. But we will be sure to get that to you. We can send that.
Follow up?
No, thank you.
I don't see any other questions. Thank you for being with us this morning. Appreciate it. Carl Kurtz. Welcome to committee.
Thank you.
Just introduce yourself and who you represent.
My name is Carl Kurtz. I
Pull
represent.
that mic up so we can hear you. There you go.
My name is Carl Kurtz. I represent disabled American veterans. I'm the Senior Vice Commander of the State of Idaho and Boise Chapter 2 Commander. Good morning, Chairman and Committee. I am in favor of S 1080 as it will protect our veterans and their families. I'm going to be real short today, but I thank you for your support and time and consideration in this matter. Thank you.
Are there questions for Mr. Kurtz? Senator Adams.
Mr. Chairman, just a quick comment. I just wanted to thank you for all the work that you do for our veterans. It's seen. Thank you.
I don't see any other questions, but I too would like to thank you for your service and your efforts. Much appreciated. Is there anyone else that intended to sign up but was unable? We've come to the end of those who have signed up, so Senator Anton or Ms. Zach, whoever wants to close, or both. We are really flexible in this committee.
I know you are, Senator and Chairman. Thank you very much. Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, let's be clear here. This legislation was brought for one reason.
Right.
One reason only.
Yeah, so you can make some money.
Because the veterans of Idaho came to us.
No,
This wasn't pulled out of thin air. This wasn't some
I didn't come to you, sir.
machination of my imagination. This was brought to us by our veterans in our communities, and it was a
you
plea
bet.
for help.
I don't think so.
I know that this committee wants to do the same thing that I want to do. They want to make sure that the veterans of Idaho are protected, and that we're providing whatever services we can to make sure that our veterans are getting their
The
benefits.
VA does a pretty doggone good job
Now,
if you can get past the state of Idaho.
To whatever end
You're just
we've
adding
got to
more-
do that
more
work, let's do it.
Roadblocks.
I have heard from
to
our
veterans
disabled
here in
American
Idaho.
veterans today that this is a good bill.
They can.
I've heard from an industry today that it's not. I'm going to be absolutely frank with you. I could give two rips about the industry.
Yeah, that's right. Keep everything in
I just
Idaho
don't
so
care.
that you can make some money as a lawyer.
I do care about a free market, but
Yeah,
if the free market
gotta
is
have a free
contrary to
market.
my veterans' wishes, I'm going to tell you where I land.
Yeah, we don't want any
Now,
federal oversight. No, nothing
That
from
having
the VA.
been said, if the bill needs to be fixed, if it needs to be
it needs to go away.
altered in some way to help our
PACT
veterans,
Act
then let's
is
do that.
what I have an application in right now
I'm here for
because
the
I
veterans,
received
and that's all I'm
radiation.
here for.
Thanks to President Biden. in
We have done a
Montana,
lot of research on this
Senator
piece of
John
legislation.
Chester,
We've looked at almost every other
1.2
state we
million
can to
in
see
the
how
last
it's,
2
how
years
it's
have
played out
received
there.
benefits for
We've
open
looked
pit
at the testimony we've heard in other
and,
states on these types of pieces of legislation.
Agent Orange, and mine
We've tried to
happens to be
compare it to how it
radiation.
interplays with the
And
federal
it's in
regulatory
process right
scheme.
now.
And we've tried to see
And
if there
this
are
fellow
needed
here,
side
he's never
rails.
been in
And
the
to the
military.
extent members of
8
this
of my
committee
family
feel
members
like we need to make some
served in
changes,
World War
I'm
I,
very
II,
open to that. Why am I
Korea,
open to that in
Vietnam.
this committee? Because I have two veterans on this committee
Yeah, okay.
who
Yeah,
I admire
Lucky.
and respect very much.
I'm not sure
One of
the
whom
other
I went
guys.
to law school with,
Okay.
and who went to West Point, and who I've taught law school with. So, Senator Rutke, Mr. Chairman, Senator Rutke, to the extent we need to make some changes for one purpose and one purpose only, and I don't care about the industry. If we
I
need
care
to do
about the
something for
industry
veterans,
because sometimes
I'm open to
people
it.
don't help you. In fact, they screen
for
you a
that
lot of
reason
times if, depending on who you
So,
are.
Mr. Chairman, I put the bill
And,
before the committee,
I've
and I asked
experienced
what
that
would
here
the
in
committee
Idaho.
like to do.
Would Ms. Zach want to offer any closing remarks? This is a chance to get the last word on the pro tem.
Yeah, lawyer.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yeah, so there really is no reason that people should be charging these initial fees. to
Sometimes you
veterans
need help
for
because,
services that are
believe
available
me, it's very,
for
very,
free
very
to them.
difficult
And there's a
sometimes to really
system in place
understand the
for
system.
people to
But
get
once you get rolling in
accredited,
the
and
system, it's pretty good.
it provides consistency, and it makes sure
But the
that
VSO down in Salt Lake City
that
really helped me a lot.
people that are assisting
Not the one
veterans
here in
know
Idaho.
exactly what they're doing, and they're going to stay moral.
And it was
So I asked that
it was just amazing.
that this
The
be
difference
sent to the
between
floor with
the
due
Salt
pass
Lake City
recommendation.
VSOs and the Idaho VSOs.
Ms. Zach, and not to put you in a position where you're contrary to your mentor, or risk being contrary to your mentor, but do you see anything that could help in terms of an amendment to thread that needle between what the private sector is trying to provide and what the problems are that prompted this bill? I'm sensing a little bit of potential wiggle room. If there's not, then that's fine too. But do you have an opinion on that?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As the last testifier said, there are no stats, and I wasn't able to find any about the wait time or the backload of services that are provided in Idaho.
Well, right now it's President Trump.
From what we
just,
know,
laid
they
off,
are great, but if
1,000,
not, that is probably a separate
employees of the VA.
a separate issue here.
Citing
Maybe
trillions
another
of dollars will
legislation
be
that we
saved by
need, but
laying these folks off.
that doesn't mean that we should not pass this one because it addresses a current issue that really is putting our veterans
No, come on,
in danger.
lady.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's a bunch of
I don't
baloney.
see any other questions.
You know, I've experienced it.
Committee,
I'm a
what's your
disabled veteran
wishes
also.
with Senate Bill 1080? Senator Ruckte.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd move that we send Senate Bill or House Bill 34 to the 14th.
No, you had it right the first time.
Oh, did I?
Uh-huh.
Senate
See,
Bill.
you know,
Maybe
when
I
I
have the wrong
when I
bill.
listened to you,
1080.
Mr. Ruckte,
1080, sorry. Had the wrong paper in front of me.
you were more
Senate
interested in
Bill
the fees to
1080
charge
the floor.
people that come in and need help as a lawyer.
Or to the 14th order, sorry.
Motion by Senator Ruckte, second by Senator Adams, that Senate Bill 1080 be sent to the 14th order for possible amendments. Discussion on the motion. Senator Den Hartog.
Mr. Chairman, just a question for the maker of the motion, if I may.
Senator Ruckte, will you yield?
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Senator Ruckte, thank you. I can't even see you all the way down there. Could you please discuss the type or possible amendment you might be considering if we're to
By
send
the
it to
way,
the 14th?
this is a national.
Senator Ruckte.
They have 6
Thank
million.
you,
The
Mr.
VA
Chairman. Well, I
services
don't
6
have
million
a lot of familiarity.
veterans
I
that
have no
disabilities.
familiarity, actually, in this
And like I
area.
say, with the PACT
I
Act,
do have some
1.2
familiarity,
million veterans in the last
in
24 months
workers'
have
comp.
received benefits.
About
Thanks to
25%
President
of our
Biden.
practice workers' comp. I'm familiar, meaning I'm generally aware of how things work in disability claims. And in those two areas,
I also have knowledge of that
the
because I sold
compensation,
disability
the
insurance.
fee structure is set up so there's a cap, 25% contingency. So when the fee structure was described to me, I'd have to do some math to kind of figure out, well, what does that mean? Does it mean they're getting
You don't need a lawyer
overcompensated? Like the attorney is
to file
taking
a
way
VA
too much
claim.
fee over time?
But
I'm
you
not
do
sure.
need experts
But
to
for
work
example,
through
in
the
a
systems.
disability claim,
Mr.
if,
Ruckte is
number one,
is a
attorneys
lawyer.
don't take
So is Mr.
cases
Anton.
until they've been denied at least once because they want to give the individual an opportunity just to get their benefits without an attorney having to get involved and take part of the benefit. Once it's been rejected once or twice, and sometimes they get rejected 3 or 4 times.
Well,
then
sometimes the
attorney will
rejections,
enter the
it's
picture,
service-connected
and if
disability.
they-
It's just
if their
because you're
work
sick or something. You have to
results
prove
in
that
the
something
individual
happened
getting a benefit,
in,
then they
in your
take that
service years, like in the
25%
4 years.
contingency.
They dropped an atomic bomb and I was
that
radiated.
may be
Plus,
a solution.
I had hearing loss
Here's what and
because
this is
of
kind of speaking
jets
to the
and working
motion,
on the
Mr.
flight line.
Chairman. What I
But they-
worry
just
about
because you
is
got
if we
something that
if we
an
eliminate
illness, you
these
have to prove
services
that it's service
altogether,
connected.
then
There's 21
veterans
million
have
veterans
fewer people available to them. My
in
brother
the,
served in the Gulf
United
War.
States. If
As
every I heard
PTSD.
somebody say, "Well, gee, every veteran
He
should get benefits
struggled,
from the VA." Well,
over the years with that
we
condition.
couldn't afford that.
And he's
Right now,
used
Trump
these
is,
sorts of
and
services
his buddies
to help
are
him
cutting
get
the,
benefits to which he's entitled.
and the
sometimes
VA
when you
personnel. And that's going
rely
to slow it
on
down. Nurses
free
and doctors, for crying out loud.
professional services, you get exactly what you pay for.
Yeah, right.
And I worry that we're going to cut veterans off from the ability to seek out professional services who know what they're doing.
Professional services
are really
like an
good
attorney.
at it,
Can
help them find the benefits
the
to
thing
which
is that
they're
those
entitled. So I
organizations,
almost
that fellow that was
feel
on
like
there,
in some
I've
ways
heard
we
of
might
them,
be accomplishing
and
the very
they do
opposite
help, and
thing
it's getting
that
through
we're
the
trying to
paperwork,
do
and
here
sometimes
by limiting
it's,
veterans from the market of
they help.
Skilled professionals.
And they don't get paid until they win.
I
And
will
they're
tell
not going to
you,
help a veteran if they
nothing
don't
makes
think they
my
have a claim.
blood
And that's the
boil
nice
more
thing about it.
than veterans who get taken advantage of. And so I totally understand why this bill is brought. And
The
and I
VA
hope,
sent out a notice to me
I'm confident
as
we
a
can
disabled
accomplish
veteran
both
that, hey,
purposes.
beware of these guys.
Veterans should
But you
not
don't
be
need
taken
an Idaho
advantage
law
of.
to bypass
and to the extent they
some
are,
of these
shame on us. We
different
don't do something
agencies
about it. So
that help veterans.
I want to see if
So
we
this
can
this
strike the
lawyer
right
here can
balance.
get paid for
I
his
think
services.
for me,
and
the
Anton.
important thing is that this legislation gets to the floor in some capacity because we can pull it out of the 14th clean. We can send it up with a due pass and then put it into 14th. So we certainly have options once it gets up there.
Who's going
I
to get
appreciate
paid
the
here?
sponsors
Why are you
bringing it in,
doing
And the
this?
main thing is to get it moving forward in some fashion. Senator Anton.
Mr. Chairman, thank you very much. And just to speak to the motion also,
You
one
will.
thing just to clarify, and that is that as we did the research and as to the motion
Yeah,
and the makers'
Mr. Lawyer, come
comments,
see me. I'll help you.
one thing that we
And
want
then
to
he
make
con-
clear is that this
Then he
particular
contacts the
law
VA.
would not preclude a veteran, once they've made the initial claim and been denied, to hire services to fight that.
Uh-huh. Well, you'll get the money to begin
So
with.
that is also in the
You
CFR.
require
That's in the,
upfront money.
federal regulatory scheme.
I'll help you for
So
$1,000.
this is really just about that initial claim.
So
and
yeah,
and
we've been
having someone come
guys
to
like
them on the
you,
initial claim, try to
attorneys.
claim
You
that
don't
back
have
pay,
to
try
go to this
claim,
attorney,
a
and
big fee on
what
the front
this
end.
what this
When those services are free and
Senate
available
bill
to any
does
veteran
is
in Idaho.
it says, "Come to
But
me.
again,
I'll help you."
I defer to the veterans, and I've heard them speak this morning. I see
You
them on
haven't
the
heard
committee
me,
today.
and that's why I'm speaking.
Let's send it to the 14th.
Yeah,
Let's
get
do
it
some
in there.
investigation.
We'll modify it,
Let's
and
see
then we'll bring
that-
it
let's
back,
see
and
that
then
our
we'll
veterans
pass
are
it.
taken
And
care
then
of. And
what
to
you'll
the
do is you'll
chairman's
put another
point,
roadblock.
if we get to the
in
14th
Idaho
off
veterans
out of this
applying for
committee and we
for
realize that
benefits.
this bill is as beautiful as it can be, we'll
Beautiful.
bring it out of the 14th to the 13th and we will pass it right out of the floor.
Yeah,
you, Mr.
126,000 veterans.
Any other discussion on the motion? Again, committee, we do have a motion by Senator Ruckty, seconded by Senator Adams, that Senate Bill 1080 be sent to 14th
Senator
order for
Adams
possible
grew up in
amendments.
the Soviet
Those in
Union.
favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.